guys, and welcome to the channel. And guess who it is again? Surprise, surprise.
It's me again.
Brian, welcome once again.
It's good to see you again, Vaughn.
Guys, I thought we'd bring Brian on, I don't want to say one final time, because you'll be pleased to know it's not the last. A lot of you were getting quite sentimental last time and saying, oh no, we've reached the end of Black Celebration. We're not going to see Brian anymore. And then little to your surprise, a lot of you didn't realize that Brian did the video for Only When I Lose Myself, and we're going to do a special on that Only When I Lose Myself video.
That'd be a great one. I mean, that's really interesting. You're going to really enjoy that. So much to talk about doing that. So much.
Brian, I've just come back from seeing Spirits in the Forest, the Anton Corbijn Depeche Mode movie, and I'm going to be doing a separate review on that later. But I couldn't help, and it's quite good timing how that movie's kind of come around the same time that we've done our Black Celebration. And I couldn't help thinking I would love to see Brian Griffin get his opportunity to do a video like a film like that one day.
Yeah, I'd love to. I'd weird it up big time, make it really interesting.
Mr. Miller, if you're watching, or whoever's in charge, maybe for the next album.
Absolutely. If you want to have something really adventurous, I'm your man.
Brian, so how did you feel about the album review series we did with all the artwork we've spoken about? And
well, I mean, I agree with a lot of the postings that you guys have put on Vaughn's YouTube channel. Really good. I mean, your comments and everything. It seems like you've been enlightened by it, which really pleases me immensely, because that you found it really fascinating, really interesting, really in depth. And you don't mind me, which is good.
So modest. As I said, guys, I was always intrigued that there was never a series dedicated. There's a lot of information on Brian Griffin, and he seems to be becoming more famous as he gets older. I just found a gap in the market that there was never. Depeche Mode is such a. It's not a band. It's an institution. It's like a religion for some people. And I was always surprised that someone like Brian, like yourself, Brian, who's done the most iconic artwork, and obviously a Broken Frame being one of your most iconic pieces ever, that there was so little, there wasn't much information on you regarding the subject. So I'm glad we could do this album review series, and you've been part of it. So Brian, which of the interviews was the highlight for you?
Well, I've obviously found them all interesting because, as you know, most of the images in our collection have been, can we say, off to the side, things that you could not see until we've done this, reveal this series. So that's been really interesting. If I was to really go into more depth about it, it was quite good to see just two off-center Construction Time Again posters and see how that was received. I mean, you have to understand that, it's great, these programs or these videos, whatever you want to call them with Vaughn. It's in fact I get like a taste of what you, the fans, really like. How do I ever get that? I never get that. But I'm getting it with this program. I'm getting a feeling of what you really like of some of the work.
Us humble people on the street, yes. But what we're also going to do is later on, guys, we just need to set the time. We're going to do a live YouTube Q&A with Brian Griffin. And I would like you guys to leave your comments below and let me know what time you think is best. Now, I'm thinking, Brian, a good time to do it would probably be on a Sunday at 7 p.m. UK time. That means we can cover Europe. And, that'll be you good folks in America will be kind of waking up at that time. Yeah. So, as I say, that'll be a great opportunity because, Brian, often with all these interviews I do with you, I get a lot of questions that people ask. And, of course, I can't answer every question. So it'll be great when we do this live Q&A on YouTube, probably about 2 hours long. We'll give you guys advance notice, and you guys can come on and ask Brian all the questions you've always wanted to ask him. But now, I want to share something really exciting with you guys. Now, Brian has been really, really patient with me. Coming back to the early days when we got him on the channel, people would contact me and say, Vaughn, we love Brian's artwork. How can we get hold of it? And I'd be like, well, that's simple. Just contact Brian. And I think people have been
absolutely, they have. Yeah.
People have been amazed how approachable you are. So I'm sorry, don't be shy. Contact Brian.
Well, it's also given them a great choice, between the posters that we do here and the really fine, which I have to admit are quite expensive prints, and they can see the difference. But the quality of both areas, i.e. posters and prints, is very high.
That's right, Brian. And as I say, that these posters came about really thanks to you guys, was when people contacted me, and I'd refer them to Brian, and some people would come back to me and say, Vaughn, I would love to be able to own some of Brian's artwork. However, I cannot afford the price of an original print. So the original prints are more costly, and as they rightfully should be. And if you're after an original print, please get in touch with Brian at briangriffin.co.uk. Correct. And he can talk you through that. But if you're just a run-of-the-mill fan like myself, and I don't mean that in a condescending or a bad way, but you don't want to spend that kind of money, or you're not able to spend that kind of money, but you would like to own a bit of Brian's artwork, then I'm glad to tell you that we have the best offer anywhere in the world. Absolutely. As far as this is concerned.
This is a great offer.
Now, from the man himself. But for those of you who know about this offer already, I want to actually up the ante today, and I've twisted Brian's arm once again. And as I said, I started off with one image. We now have a collection of 7, and I've been twisting Brian's arm so many times, and I'm scared he's going to punch me. But I've twisted his arm again, and I said, Brian, could we please have a Black Friday special? And this just quite coincidentally coincides with our with our Black celebration. It's funny, we've just done our Black celebration review.
Yeah, we have, yeah.
And that coincides with Black Friday. Now, Black Friday is next Friday. So this offer is rolled out effectively immediately from this moment up until midnight on Black Friday. So you've got enough time to get your orders in. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk you through this offer in as much detail as we possibly can. And we're going to start off with the collection. And as I say, guys, once again, if you've not seen this before, Brian has made a set of images exclusive to the Vaughn George channel now. Some of these images you've seen before, but some of them you haven't. And I'm very, very grateful about that. Now, first in this collection, and we're going to get Brian to elaborate on a few of these, this is the Speak and Spell Black and White. Now, as Brian will elaborate, this is not the color album that has been transferred into a black and white. This is from the original black and white.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
From the film itself, from the transparency?
Yeah. Well, what happened is that this was shot in my studio down here in Rotherhithe, and I covered the shoot in black and white and in colour, as you all know, because you saw the colour, the original album cover. And the record company decided to go with the colour one. But I've always kept the negatives all these years of the black and white, which is just basically a copy. And now I've rolled the black and white, the original from the negative, out here on the Vaughn George channel.
And as a result, Brian, thank you for that, because this means this has never ever been available before up until this point. So this is,
in fact, I've never printed it. In fact, it's never been seen until it appeared in your series.
I feel so humbled and grateful by that. So, guys, so this is the first one in this collection. As I say, Brian's going to demonstrate. He's going to sign these all. So this is what happens. What makes this offer different to any other offer in the world is the fact that when you purchase one of these poster prints from the Vaughn George channel, Brian will actually sign them all individually. In fact, he'll not only sign them individually, but he will actually put a message dedication of your choice. So if you want to dedicate them to someone for Christmas or a birthday, you can have Dear Mary or Dear John, best regards, Brian Griffin. That is what makes this offer different to any other Brian Griffin collection in the world. Am I right in saying that?
You're absolutely right, Vaughn.
Right, okay, we're going to come on to the second image in this collection, and this one we're calling, this is a broken frame, and this is what we're calling the alternative black and white, and this is a beautiful one. I believe this was one of Daniel Miller's
It was. I ignored it actually, because this photograph was actually taken during the initial stages of the photography of this album cover. And then we changed her position. Oh, okay. Obviously, I recorded in colour. I recorded in black and white, as you can obviously see. And then we changed her position, which that position is the one you see on the album cover. So this was the initial photography of that session. And I remember when Daniel saw it, it's his favourite, but it never entered the album cover until recently, isn't it? On the on the gatefold they use it now.
The gatefolds, yes. Yeah. I've actually got that gatefold here on the remaster series. You've got the broken frame, and then I think it was it was on the sleeve, on the
inner sleeve,
on the inner sleeve, yes. There we go.
And I think I supplied them with a digital copy so they could put it on the inner sleeve. I think I did. Oh God, I mean, my memories.
And indeed, there were so many. It must have been very difficult with the shoots, because you would supply them all the photos, and then they had to choose one.
They did, yeah, and they chose wisely, obviously, because it became the most famous photograph on earth, virtually. It's regarded as being, actually. And but this is a great one, and this was really taken up when it was initially released on your channel, Vaughn. This was very well received.
That's right. Yes, very well received, and I don't believe it wasn't available either until this point. Or
no, it wasn't available. So, I never printed it. It just remained in my files, in my negative files.
So there you have it, guys. So this one too has been made exclusive to the Vaughn George channel. Thank you once again for that, Brian. Now that comes in nicely, talking about separate, different images for different photo shoots. Brian has talked about Construction Time Again being his personal favourite session.
Yeah.
And as part of this collection, Brian has also made this one available to the Vaughn George channel. And this one we're calling the Construction Time Again White Sky, because it's sort of characterised by the white clouds in the background. Brian, anything you want to say about this image?
Yeah, I mean, this was so plentiful, this session in images. As you know, we went up a mountain in Switzerland. I mean, this is way before Photoshop times. People seem to achieve images as good as this when they can put it on a computer and mess around with it in Photoshop. But no, this was absolutely, completely composed and lit up that mountain on that day. So I'm particularly pleased with it. It's a very dramatic image. It must have been painful for them to choose which one to put on the cover. I wasn't, as you know from the earlier Vaughn George broadcast, I wasn't asked to be in attendance when they chose the cover. So, as you know, I feel a little bit mixed about which one they chose, but okay. Now we've got the opportunity of seeing some of the others, and this has virtually never been seen, really, apart from on my website and here on Vaughn's channel. So this is a real. What did you say, Vaughn? It
was a real honour for me, at least. Yeah. But guys, you notice Brian's actually signing these all. And what we're going to do at the end of this broadcast is we're going to have all these images signed, and we're going to be giving the full collection away to one lucky subscriber. But we're going to decide how we're going to do that. Whether it be a draw or or someone writes in and tells us why they think they deserve it or whatever. Now, we are also, as part of this collection, rolling out this one. This is the Construction Time Again, and we're calling this one the Blue Sky version.
That's right.
Which is characterized by the blue sky. This is one of your personal favorites, Brian?
This was. I mean, as you know, I'm a working class lad. I grew up in an area where lots of factories, all my family, all my parents, everybody, even me at the beginning of my career ended up in a factory. And I find this one really, really important in my photographic oeuvre or my photographic history. As you know full well, Vaughn, this became like a poster image in the pop show, the pop festival down in Saarbrücken in Germany. This is one of my personal favourites, actually.
There we go. One of Brian Griffin's personal favourites. And as he signs it, thank you, sir. Right, number 5 in this exclusive collection is the album cover from Some Great Reward. Now, this is the standard image from Some Great Reward. And of course, minus the album title and everything. But as you say, you can check on... I'll leave links below to all the previous episodes we've done so far before. And Brian, this was filmed at a factory that you worked in?
Yeah.
That's right.
It's been interesting. This has been really well received, this image.
Yes.
And the reason I am happy with that reception. Is I worked in there after I spent 3 years at art college, learning a little bit about photography. I was broke. As you all know, if you go to university or college, you end up with no money at the end. And I had to earn some money, so I had to work in this factory. I worked there. I worked days and I worked nights in order to get enough money so I could go down to London and start to become a photographer. And this factory, I could see every day during my boyhood days. Out of my bedroom, I could look up onto the top of the hill, which was about 3 kilometers away, and there was that big factory sitting on top of that hill. So it's a very romantic image for me. It's a very romantic image, and it's gone down incredibly well as an important image in the history of Depeche Mode album covers.
And if I can just elaborate on that, Brian, it's interesting when we rolled these images out on the Vaughn George collection. We didn't really have an idea which ones were going to do better. My gut feeling was that, of course, a black and white version of Speak and Spell and A Broken Frame that I'd never seen before would do well. They've all been doing well. And what's a bit of behind the scenes things that the viewers won't really know is that Brian was, I wouldn't say Brian was not keen to roll this out. He just didn't think there'd be that much interest. But Brian, you've been pleasantly surprised to see how many of these have been,
I'm very surprised.
And it's an absolutely gorgeous image. And also, guys, I must mention that all these images, the way they look, I mean, we've all seen these images before, whether they be on posters or on CD covers, but the way these look on these reproductions that we're selling here on the Vaughn George channel is the exact way Brian intended them to look. They're not overhyped or there's no oversaturation on the colors. These are the most accurate representations of Brian's Depeche Mode album covers. Right, we're coming to number 6 in this collection. Number 6, yes.
Yeah.
And of course, guys, if you remember, we did a documentary on People Are People. I'm going to leave links to all those below. And on that documentary, Brian and I visited the site where this iconic photograph was taken. This is the single cover for the People Are People image. Lovely photo, this, Brian. And I'm sure a lot of you will recognize this image as the single cover from the People Are People single. However, there are a few noticeable differences on this one. Brian, if you care to explain what they are?
Yeah, a few noticeable differences. One, I lived in this street for 37 years. This plant, industrial plant, does not exist anymore, which you obviously found out if you watched on the Vaughn George channel, visit there. Thirdly, which was quite interesting, which things develop from being on this channel, this great channel, is someone cropped in onto the headshots in this shot. It looked fantastic. Shot of the band, which I was rather surprised of. That is like coming in tight of the band. And I was really shocked how good they all look and how interesting the light was. It was one of those images, that sat in the background. That was like almost dormant, really. And I got it out, and we launched it. And the video went down incredibly well, didn't it, Vaughn?
It did. We got a lot of views on that video.
I'm going to sign it at the moment.
You've got a lot of views on that video. Guys, stick around to the end of this video because I'm going to give you some exclusive news on a Black Celebration Friday, Black Friday celebration we're doing exclusively on the Vaughn George channel. And also we'll be giving away the full set to one of you lucky viewers. And the final, and this is one that brings me great joy, the final image in this Vaughn George Depeche Mode Brian Griffin exclusive collection is this. This one I nearly fell off my chair the first time I saw this. And guys, if you see this there's one thing seeing it like this, but seeing it in the flesh, in reality, it just has and I think what Brian and I decided with this one was to make it sort of noticeably different from the other ones because it's the same size, but whereas all the others have got a white border, we decided to sort of really go full out with the sort of black celebration.
And you researched it quite well, didn't you, with people on the site, and they came out, they wanted black.
We did, Brian, because we actually said to people, do they want a black or a white? So you guys decided you wanted the, and of course I think there's always one that goes, I wanted the white border, but I think overwhelmingly, but this looks absolutely gorgeous. So to have the whole collection and have this as sort of like an sort of standing out as its own piece of work on its own is wonderful. Now, Brian's got a special pen for this as well, and Brian's going to show he's got a different way of autographing these ones, as we can demonstrate now. I do love that. This is I've noticed with the autograph signings, when Brian signs this one, it's the one when he gets like a childish smirk on his face, and I think he feels like a rock star because he can do like a really big,
fast.
But yeah, you can
really fast pen.
See how stunning this looks. So as I said, this is the 7th image in this collection. So this completes a really great collection of 7 images, all available here through the Vaughn George channel. Some exclusive, never seen before images, thanks to Brian. And I just want to talk through some of the technicalities of some of these images, just for you geeks out there. Now, guys, these are 31 by 31 centimeters in size, and the actual image size is 26 by 26 centimeters. The idea, as Brian and I wanted, was to have this be the same size as a vinyl album cover. So I will quickly demonstrate that here, because I'm such a geek. So as you see, here is a original vinyl, and as you can see, these are the same size, 31 by 31 centimeters. What's worth pointing out as well, guys, as I keep saying that these are the most accurate and honest reproductions of Brian's work anywhere to be found. These are printed by Brian's approved printer. You are not going to get better images of Brian's work anywhere. In fact, the only images you will find that are of this quality would be the original prints that he buys, that Brian supplies. These are printed on 300 GSM paper. It's high quality, and these will look stunning. As I say, you can check out the satisfied photos of our many regular customers. Some people put them in their studies, their studios, and in their living rooms.
Okay.
Now, these images are £65 each. As I say, £65 each, and that is excluding postage and handling. And they are delivered to you anywhere in the world. And as I say, every image is individually signed by Brian Griffin, just as we're sitting here, with a message dedication of your choice. Now, they're £65 each, but I've twisted Brian's arm, and we have rolled out a Black Friday special. And so for the duration of this broadcast, up until midnight on Black Friday, you can get this entire collection for £319. That's the whole set for £319. If you would prefer to buy just a smaller set, we have also made this set available in a smaller set, and that is you can choose any 3 images, and then that will be 3 images for the price of £135.
And that's a discount of both.
Yes, it's about 30%. Yes,
30%.
And I've done some arm twisting with Brian, and as I say, I was very happy in the beginning just to get 1 image. I'd never think I would now have an image, a collection of 7 images, and now I had to twist his arm and said, Brian, how about a Black Friday? And Brian thought of it, and I think Brian came back, and it just, I think we're grateful about the interest, and I think Brian just said, let's just make this as accessible to as many Depeche Mode fans as we possibly can. So once again, you can buy the full set for £319, or you can buy one of 3 images, mix and match, for £135. As I say, these are all individually signed by Brian and shipped to you anywhere in the world. Now, my favorite part of this thing is the Michael Jackson gloves I get to wear, and I'm going to demonstrate that quickly. So what I do is, when the orders come through, Brian and I get together, I get to wear my Michael Jackson gloves, and the reason the reason I do that is because, unlike these ones that we've been handling here, when you place your order, we don't actually touch them. They're just because I'm such a geek. This is what are these called? Craftsman gloves or something?
Yeah, sort of archivist's gloves.
Yeah. So that is just
magician's gloves.
Magician's gloves, yes, absolutely. Brian, just pick a card, any card. And yeah, it's just to show the attention to detail we've gone to. Also, you will receive it. And as I say, Brian and I have done a lot of research, and it's very important to us that these poster prints get to you in immaculate condition. And as a result, we've done a lot of research, and they will be delivered to you wherever you are in the world in these custom-made recycled poster tubes. Now, these are up to 4 times thicker than regular poster tubes. And they have a very, very large circumference, and the reason for that is that means we don't have to roll them really tight. But as I say, we have shipped dozens and dozens, and we're happy to say that we've had loads and loads of satisfied customers, and they get to you in immaculate condition. And we also every poster is wrapped individually by my good self, if I may call myself that, in 2 layers of tissue paper, and then, as I say, these poster tubes have been cut specifically to this length to ensure that they don't rattle. Yeah, and then of course they are stapled with my Michael Jackson gloves. Ow! These will get to you immaculately, and we've put a lot of love and attention into this. And once again, Brian, I'm so grateful that you've made this collection available.
It's been a great experience, going through all these covers.
Absolutely.
And now we've got the opportunity of giving people a present.
It really is, and I think it's great. So, guys, as I say, once again, this is a Black Friday special available from now up until midnight on Black Friday. Any information you want about this, if you've got any questions, contact me at info@vorti.com, and I will be glad to answer any questions.
And repeating again, all the posters together will cost.
Well, if you were to purchase the entire collection at £65 a poster, it would cost you £455. So for the Black Friday special, you can get this whole collection for £319. And thank you, Brian.
My pleasure. And then if you only want 3 of your choice, whichever one.
That's right. As I say, if you wanted 3, it'll be £135.
Excellent.
Just for those of you who can't afford the whole set. But Brian, I'm really once again grateful for this collection. And if there's anything you want to add to this before we wrap this up?
No, I mean, it's an amazing collection. And I think that if you ever want a collection, this is the one.
Yes, as I was saying, and to those of you who have bought them already and submitted your photos, there is nothing that brings Brian and I such joy.
Love to receive them.
To see them and just to know that
it's wonderful.
We've made it.
Gives me a real feeling.
It really does. And
please bring your photographs when you receive them and open them. Let's see your delight.
Absolutely. Mr. Griffin, I'm going to shake you with the Brian, the Michael Jackson hands, jazz hands.
Very good, very good.
And guys, keep watching. As I say, next in line is the Brian Griffin 2-hour. We'll try and keep it to 2 hours. Might go on longer, depending on. We're looking to do it on a Sunday, probably from about 7 p.m. UK time, and that'll be an exclusive interview on YouTube with Brian Griffin, where you can ask him all your questions. And then after that, we're going to be doing a special on Only When I Lose Myself, and I really look forward to that.
Oh, that's going to be incredible.
One of my favourite music videos, and one of my favourite Depeche Mode songs as well. So
it is a really good song.
It really is. So, guys, we're going to leave you to it, and as I say, get in touch with me. Have a great day, and I will see you again on the channel. Brian, thanks again. Adios.
Bye-bye.
Hello my friends, and thank you for watching the entire video. And if you're still here, that means you're interested in the competition. And I'm going to tell you now how you can enter this competition and stand the chance to win this full set of personally autographed Brian Griffin Depeche Mode poster prints. So in order to enter this competition, all you need to do is go to the comment section below and fill in the words enter draw. Once you have written the words enter draw, I would like you to then leave your comments as you usually would. Comment on, let me know what you thought of the Brian Griffin Depeche Mode photography album review series we did, or any general comments you'd like to make on the video. But it is important that if you want to take part in this competition and stand the chance to win this, you need to fill the words enter draw in. Every message that has the words enter draw will be entered into the draw, and the closing date for this draw is on midnight, Friday the 29th, which is Black Friday. The draw will be carried out live on the YouTube Q&A video, which I spoke about earlier, and I will give you guys pre-warning as to when that will occur. It's very important, guys, that when we do the live Q&A video and we do the draw, it's very important that you are on that video in order to claim your prize. So if we draw your name and you're not on the video, you'll have to forfeit and it will be given to the next person that we draw. So it is very important that you are actually taking part in that YouTube Q&A video, which is coming shortly. Guys, if you're keen to take advantage of this Black Friday offer, please get in touch with me at info@vaughty.com, and even if you've got any more questions. But if you want to order the set, but you also want to take part in the competition, by all means do that. If by any chance you end up ordering the whole set and you end up being the lucky person that also wins the set in this draw, don't worry, you will get your money refunded back to you. But I do urge you guys to all take part in this, because this is a fabulous collection of iconic images, which is exclusive to this channel, and you, quite frankly, you can't get them anywhere else. So please do take part. And there you have it, guys. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I look forward to printing the label with your name on it, one of you lucky subscribers. Thank you as always, guys, and I will see you soon on the next video.